guys, this is Tiffany with FranchiseFrankness.com, and in this video, we're going to go over the 10 steps to opening your own franchise. Now, these steps are important so that you know what to expect as you start your journey into opening your own unit. I've personally walked many franchisees through this process, and it's helped them understand the entire roadmap. So what's coming up next? What can I be working on, etc. So it's very beneficial to understand the whole process so that you don't get overwhelmed and so that you can also see what's coming up next. So with that, let's get started. Step 1, find a franchise. Now that sounds easy enough, but it entails more than you think. So task number 1, self-evaluation. Now you want to think about your personal financial statement, your experience, your current lifestyle, and your why. Why do you want to get into a franchise? That leads right into our next task, which is choose your franchise type. A lot of different franchise types out there. There's restaurant franchises, there are entertainment franchises, there are franchises in healthcare, franchises in retail. Choosing that franchise type based on that self-evaluation is really going to set you up for success. And that leads us into task 3, concept search. Now we have a whole video on how to search for a concept, so I'm going to link that below, and I'm going to go to the next task, which is to call around. Call the different franchisors whose franchises you're interested in. Do a little mini interview. Get a feel for the culture. And while you're on the phone with them, find out if they have any requirements, such as financial requirements. All franchises are going to have financial requirements. So go ahead and find those out while you're on the phone with them. That leads me to the next task, which is review the FDD. Now, while you were on the phone with the franchisor, their main goal with that conversation, if they vetted you to a point, is to send you their FDD, their franchise disclosure document. So I'm going to cover the details of franchise disclosure document in another video, and I'm going to go ahead to task number 6, which is call the franchisees. The franchisor is probably going to give you a list, and it may be within the FDD, of franchisees that they think are similar to your situation. Okay, step number 2 is financing analysis. Now, this involves things like your profit and loss statement. So when you're on the phone with the franchisor, ask him if he can send you a copy of a P&L. Now, usually they will give you that expressed in terms of percentage, so you may not have exact numbers, but using the FDD and a P&L template that's provided by the franchisor will get you far enough to understand big picture. Now, another task within financing analysis that I would recommend would be go and sit down with the bank. Understand your financing options before you get too far invested in the thought of this franchise. All right, step 3, buying a franchise. So what does that entail, right? At this point, you've done your self-evaluation, you found a franchise that you liked, you've reviewed their documents, their FDD, you've talked to them, etc. They're likely going to invite you to attend a discovery day. So discovery days are usually day-long events where the franchisor will invite you to their home office and they will explain the concept in detail to you. So you'll hear from all the major departments. You'll hear from real estate, marketing, development, construction, operations. You'll hear from all of those folks and they'll tell you what owning and operating this franchise looks like. Now, after discovery day and the franchisor's evaluation of you and your evaluation of them, the next logical step is the franchise agreement. And the franchise agreement is a contract between you and the franchisor that details out all the requirements, all the obligations, all the monetary implications of you owning and operating that franchise. Okay, step number 4, site selection. So I've done a whole video on site selection. I'm going to link that below. It talks about the 4 buckets of real estate, and it kind of hones in on the basic principles of site selection. So I'll link that down below, and we'll go on to step number 5, which is real estate transactions. So there's a lot to take in terms of real estate transactions. The first thing is, are you going to lease or are you going to buy or acquire the property? Now, in most cases, people lease. And with leasing goes along letters of intent, intense project scheduling, because you want to make sure that you hit those deadlines, and the lease agreement itself.